Hello, everybody. I'm Dorothy. Thanks for joining me here today. If it's your first time here, been a professional astrologer for ages. Love to talk about what's going on in the sky. That seems to be the most important thing for us right now. Just how I see it. We all see different things, all of us astrologers out there. So today I am going to talk about Mars as it has now moved into Gemini. And I'm also going to talk about the new moon. That will be my main focus, the new moon in Pisces. And the reason I'm focusing in on that is because it is connected to two solar eclipses, one in December and one in June. So let's get started. I'm going to grab my notes here so I don't forget anything. So if you see me looking down, that's just my notes. I will have this printed out on my website, nhastrologer.com, if you'd like to go and read it there and join my email list. I give free stuff away once a month to new people who subscribe to the email list. So today I want to talk about, first off, Mars in Gemini. Being a Gemini, this happens every couple of years. Mars moves through each sign approximately every 2 years. So it really energizes. Mars is energy, 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 action, fiery action. Right now, as of now, and where I'm recording this, so it actually was on the 3rd. I'm going to pop my chart, my ephemeris open here. Which was last night before I recorded this. So on the 3rd of March, late in the evening, Mars entered the sign of Gemini. We would have immediately felt that going on. I know I did. My phone is buzzing off the hook. I'm getting all kinds of text messages and I know that's the old-fashioned way to get information these days. All kinds of messaging from Facebook and all of it. Even mail in the mail. Information showing up yesterday on March 3rd. You pay attention to what's going on in your life, but it's just buzzing. So much information. Immediately, I felt a shift, especially when it comes to today. I woke up with that Mars and Gemini, so much going on in my head. Holy cow. So when Mars has been in Taurus for the last 7 weeks, it's slow, methodical, but we could still get a lot done. But now that Mars has to put its energy through the sign of Gemini, that air energy, mutable air, it's very active. We have a lot on our minds. I want you to pay attention to all the information that's coming at you, and it's going to come at you pretty fast. It's going to take us a little while to get used to it, but that's all right, because that's just how it goes when a planet moves into a new sign. That first few degrees really feel like we have to get used to it unless we're born with that planet in that sign. So what else do I want to look at here? Let me make sure I've got everything here. I do believe so. So with that information, with Mars in that sign, how long does he last? He stays in that sign from March 3rd until April 23rd. So lots of movement. And in that time, and I'll talk about that in the weekly forecast, but I'll talk about these things in detail on my membership platform, which is on Patreon. I do a lot of detailed information there. At level 3, which is $11 a month, we get 6 live broadcasts and we really dig deep into those aspects. And so what we'll be digging into a lot throughout the 7 weeks that Mars is in Gemini is the trine aspect it makes to the Aquarius planets out there. There's quite a few things in Aquarius right now as well. So there's a lot of air energy, a lot of unique ideas and thoughts coming at us. So this is what we're going to be looking at and, over the next 7 weeks. But right now, just so you know, expect a lot of information to come at you. And if you feel overwhelmed, then you start writing stuff down. That's the way we handle this Gemini when we're not used to it, especially when Mars is there. Because Mars, again, is just so full of energy. He wants us to take a lot of action. And the action is through the Gemini traits, talking, communicating, listening, gathering of information. And what can happen here, and this is for anybody, what can really happen is we can actually get so much coming in at us that we feel anxiety and stress and feel restless and nervous. And it seems like it's for no apparent reason, but it's because we're on information overload. So give yourself a break and back off on information if you start to feel that that is what's going on. Gemini can also be in its unskillful uses, very superficial, very shallow, lots of talking, even little white lies, constant. This is in its unskilled, unevolved energy. So we will see that around us as well. You don't have to be a participant in that, though. Remember, we always have those choices. So that's what I want to talk about with that. And again, you're going to be able to read this on the website, nhastrologer.com. Now we're going to move on to the new moon. Let me grab that information. That new moon in Pisces. That is on March 13th. All right. The exact time of that, it varies, of course, depending on your time zone. March 13th, lots of noise. Sorry. March 13th, 5:21 a.m. And that is Eastern time zone, right? It's Eastern daylight time. Savings time is the next day. So look at it for your own time zone. You'll be able to figure it out. So what are we going to do with this new moon, and why is this new moon so important? First off, before the moon was new and her balsamic lunar phase, again, we'll go in deep into that in Patreon, but in that balsamic lunar phase, she conjuncts Venus and Neptune in Pisces before the moon gets to the sun, before the moon is new in that balsamic phase. A lot of feelings and emotions will come through in that balsamic phase. So do what you can to process and really feel what's going on around you, and allow your emotions to come to the surface so they can be released. You do not want to suppress how you're feeling during the balsamic lunar phase while the moon is conjunct Venus and Neptune. Now, Venus, and of course, Venus in Pisces is very romantic, and it feels wonderful, but we can be overwhelmed with all of that as well. So with this new moon on the 13th, the special thing about this new moon in Pisces, and it is at 23 degrees of Pisces. The point is like, it is at the halfway point between the new moon solar eclipse we had in December. And my refrigerator just started. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn that bad boy off. Hold on. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. I'm actually in my kitchen right now. You can't tell because I have this beautiful picture behind me because it's Pisces. I took this image myself. It's one of my own. Anyways, back to what I was talking about when the refrigerator, which is right here, was so rudely interrupted me. Anyways, that's okay. It keeps my food nice and cold, which I'm really happy about, because just this week I'm dealing with not having power for a couple of days, being asked. These are things that have been coming through. The landlord has asked me to move everybody that lives in this building to move, because she's going to sell the whole house. So we're all now going to be displaced. It's like, oh boy, what an interesting world we live in right now. At least my world. I'm pretty sure yours is the same, because we're all trying to figure out what those boundaries are, right? That's very much the Pisces new moon as well. Trying to figure out where those boundaries are. What do we let in? What are we trying to keep out? It is such, it's those lines are blurry, because it's just, again, it's like, I think I wrote this in a prior post. It's like picking up a jellyfish, not those kind that will sting you really bad, because you don't want to even touch those. But if you try to pick up a jellyfish out of the water, it's just sort of, we shouldn't do that. Poor animal doesn't need that, but it feels all yucky, and it just feels slimy, and there's no consistency to it. And so, except just this jelliness. And that's what the world feels like when we have this much Pisces energy going on. Unless the moon is in a fire sign, there are no fire signs in the sky right now either in the zodiac. I mean, so what that means is like we're just really flowing with a lot of water and a lot of air, very little earth, just a couple of things in earth. So there's a lot going on here that is very mutable and very pliable. So when we have this new moon, let's get back to this new moon on March 13th. The special thing of that is it's halfway between the solar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse that we had on December 14th. I'm trying to look at my notes. And then we also have another solar eclipse in Gemini on June 10th. Now, those two are completely opposite each other. And where this new moon that is not an eclipse comes in is halfway between the two. they're off by just a few degrees. It's no big deal. But this is that middle point, that bending point, it's called, that halfway between one eclipse and another. So you need to look back to what you were manifesting and what you were focusing in on in December. That was a Sagittarius new moon. And so Sagittarius new moons are wonderful. So the Sagittarius new moon is about, taking information that we already have and expanding it. It's our truth. It's, the philosophical beliefs that we have, and, the sense of freedom and the discovery that we get when we, get engaged in other cultures. It's very enriching, but it's also very free, and it's very mutable, meaning it's changeable, and it just sort of goes with the flow. It's mutable fire. So we have that energy of really being very flexible in what we believe. So our beliefs and all of the truth is just really changeable regularly, not necessarily easy in these times, because we're just having such a hard time, I believe, deciphering what information is real and what is not. And it is very different between each of us. So we don't need to have this divide. This new moon in Pisces, to me, means we can all come together and we can just try and find that middle ground and not be so hard-nosed about what we believe. And that's the ultimate thing that I would love to see out of this new moon. So let me look at my notes, make sure I got what I want. So I want you to focus back, or take a peek back really quick on what you were doing at that new moon in December, which was an eclipse. And again, this is written out. You can go read it. So if this is going too fast for you, you can go read it at your own pace. You can also slow me down or speed me up if you're on YouTube. You know how to do that. So Sag, faith, good luck, expansion, philosophical beliefs, finding those answers, finding those qualities that are really important for you. Now, the new moon solar eclipse on June 10th, that's not here yet. June 10th, it's coming. It's my birthday. It's going to be an interesting year for me. So it is in Gemini, straight across the chart from where the Sagittarius new moon solar eclipse was in December. So again, this is more about gathering information, looking at communication and talking and listening and seeing both sides of a story. Beautiful. This is what we need. It's intellectual, it's clever, it's playful. We really want to be fun and youthful and superficial for just a little while, just so we can not feel so stressed out all the time. It's okay to just be present. That's, to me, I am a Gemini. To me, that's what it is. Sometimes I forget things that have happened in my past. I have siblings that remind me of those things. And it's like, no, I don't remember that. Really? Did I really? What? Because I like to just, I believe it's just my nature to be like right here, right now. I mean, I think I'm sure I remember the important lessons, but the details of them I don't, because that's a little more Virgo for me. And that's not mine. My Virgo North Node does it though. And where's your Virgo? That's the only thing that's not spoken of in this report, because new moon in December, Sag, that's mutable. This new moon in Pisces, that's mutable water, mutable fire, mutable water. June eclipse, mutable air. So we don't have that Virgo, which is mutable earth. We don't have that in this chart, but we have all these other things. And so I want us to focus on that, focus on the information that's coming, focus on what you've learned from December, focus on taking and trusting your intuition so you can allow things to really flow for you. All right. To flow. Trust your intuition. If you're psychic, work on those skills. If you love music, play music. If you love being near the water, in the water, around the water, do that. Those are all those qualities of the Pisces new moon that we have on March 13th, that we really should set those goals and those intentions to. All right. There's a lot of other ways to use these new moons. I love that lunar gestation phase family. I'm going to give a lecture about that soon, sometime in April, I do believe. And if not, I'll let you know. Just join my email list. So use the details of what isn't part of this, because everything is so mutable. We don't have a whole lot of details in here. So take lots of notes, copious notes. Pay attention to your dreams. make sure you journal those. My dreams have been like through the roof, very much showing me what I need to know about what's going on in my world. So amazing. Watch for those signs, watch for those signals, and write it down, because sometimes it's just so fleeting because of the mutableness of these zodiac signs that we forget it really quick. So practice writing this stuff down. Even if you're not sure what it means, just write a few keywords. If you don't have time to write everything out, that's what I like to do. I don't like to, I handwrite so many things when I'm working with clients that by the time it gets to handwriting my own journal, I'm like, nope, I'm bored. Don't want to do that. It's just me. I don't know how you are, but you decide. So thank you for watching. Please share and comment and all of those things, because that just helps boost this channel, which has been a little, I don't know, YouTube. I don't put enough up for YouTube to like me anymore. So they stopped sharing this with people. But you guys are my followers, so I know you'll get this. Thank you so, so much. And if you have any questions or comments, I always read them all and I personally answer them. It's all about me. It's not all about me. It's all about you. But I always answer those things. That's what I meant to say. All right. I'm being a goofball now. All right, everybody. Have a great evening, day, or whatever it is for you. And join me here. And I will see you again soon. Blessings. Namaste.